Yo, yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Garrett Spencer. How's everybody doing today? I wanted to make this video talking about if I was in a if there was a retro like an all retro arcade only, like from games from the 90s and early 2000s and whatnot, like every single game that was in the retro arcade. Where would your quarters go to now? Now I've been kind of thinking about this like last week. Like if I was on a retro arcade and like if some of the games wasn't free, like some arcade games in some places are these days, or just like in Dave and Buster's, like you use your you have a game card they provide you with, and you got the choice on to put on how much money you want onto that card. Well, I've been kind of thinking about if I was in a retro arcade, where would my quarters go to? Like, where would my last quarter go to? If it was like an old school type of arcade where they just take quarters or tokens or whatnot, or would I keep playing? Now that's kind of a hard question because retro games, especially retro games, especially in retro arcades, they have so many games. They have so many games. That's good. Like when I talk about like retro arcades, I'm talking like, even like some of the biggest arcade that's out there now. Yeah, that's a that would be a hard question for me. Like where will my last quarter go to, or because it would really all depend on where my what my mind and heart desires on you know, what games are, depending on what games they all have and what's around. So like, I would probably see with me, I would probably take my time, look around the arcade to see what's all there. Like for instance, like if you got like fighting games, like fighting games such as excuse me, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, uh, Killer Instinct, you know, see, see, when it comes to the arcade, like the fighting games on the arcade machines, like I'm not really all that good. Not really all that good. So I could tell you that my quarters will not go on to any of them because number one, see, I'm not really a I'm not really an arcade pro. Like I don't go to arcades a lot, all like that. Now it would have to take me a while. It would have to take me who knows how many times to go there to practice and play them, and how and for how many times to do that in order for me to practice to get good at get good at some of those fighting games on arcade machines because playing fighting games on the arcade machine versus on the console using controllers, they're different. Like they're different from one another. Like it's different and it's not the same. And also, and similarities when it comes to some of the games that I just mentioned, like Mortal Kombat 2. You guys see me playing that on the GameCube, which is the Midway Treasure Part 2. That's the all them games on it. That's arcade style right there. And then also on the Capcom collection, classic collection, you guys see me playing that on my stream, and also see me doing gameplays on it last week and whatnot. Well, all of those games are arcades as what arcade style as well, meaning the difficulty settings is most likely the same as the ones on the arcade machine, and you could tell they're arcade style on there because the listening to the music, the sound effects, and the background music itself. That's basically the same. That's basically the same version as the arcade machine version too. So they're both hard. And I'm not gonna lie, I was just playing Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition yesterday on PlayStation 2 on the Volume 1 on the Capcom Classics Collection game, and I got I won the first, like I lost the first fight, then I I lost the first fight, then I won it, and then like the second fight, I did okay. But then when I got the Blanca, it was hard. Like, see that the Street Fighter game on there, it's tough. Like, it's not the same like it is on Sega Genesis and Nintendo and whatnot. Yeah, so those games were like hard. But yeah, but so like back to what I was saying. So back to what I was saying, like that was just an example of why my quarters would not go on to why I probably wouldn't even play fighting games in arcade, in arcades because of that. And so and like you guys see me playing Simpsons now, let's say if I hadn't beaten the Simpsons like I did last summer when I was in Texas, well, if I really couldn't find any other game that fit me that I really wanted that I wanted to play, and depending on where my mind was at and how bad I want to win, my you know there's a like maybe 90% chance that most of my quarters will go on there. But then again, there's so many games. Like I said, and when I say the biggest arcade, I mean like fighting games, shooting games, arcade. I mean fighting games, games, sports games, racing games. Like there's so many good games. So like it would probably be hard for me to decide on which where my last quarter would go to. It would just be that would just be a tough decision. It would just be a tough decision though. And fun, like I said, funny. Mostly, some arcades are free to play. Even at that, yeah, that's a tough decision for me. So, and then also, you guys saw me playing Final Fight last week on my stream, and also on my gameplay last Friday. Now, I heard some of y'all talking about I heard some of y'all talking about how that was one of the best arcade games around and whatnot. Well, so I would have to say. So honestly, I would have to say, my last quarter will probably go on a beat 'em up game, or maybe a shooting game, most likely. Because yeah, beat 'em up game or a shooting game, most likely. It would, like I said, and it would all really depend on where my mind is and how I'm feeling. And okay, if I lose, do I want to play again or do I want to move on to the next game and see what else there is? So it's just like I mean it's hard, and just like it's hard, like just like if you're a game collector and you have so many games at your house, sometimes you might even have that same hard decision. You might have that same hard decision you want to make, like okay, what you want to play. And um and also, just like me, I haven't really I've been only playing a few games. Like yesterday, I only played like a few games on the PlayStation 2, and I only played like two on like Mondays. I usually be playing like only two games on Genesis, and I used to be playing like 4 to 5. But I guess because I guess depending on what day you're having, how you're feeling, and your body probably your brain probably might be going through a shift change to where you might not really want to play that much, and maybe today's not the day. And if you decide you do play, you know, depending on what you're playing, like how are you gonna do? Like you might win, you might lose. So I mean, it's really like that same thing right there. Kind of a hard decision. So so yeah, my quarters will probably go on. I'll probably use my last quarters on a beat 'em up game. Like possibly The Simpsons. If I hadn't beaten that last summer, The Simpsons, or like I said, maybe Final Fight, or or just a shooting game. So maybe the newer House of the Dead games or whatnot. So it all really depends. And or possibly if they had it around there, maybe the mocap boxing game. So that's my thought on where I might spend my last quarter on the game that I might spend my last quarter on at an arcade. So yeah, but anyway, that's all I really have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So y'all know what to do. Leave y'all's comments and thoughts down below. Click that thumbs up. This your boy Garrett Spencer. You guys take it easy. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, y'all, once a gamer, always a gamer. Keep on gaming, y'all.